Welcome to the E Academy. In this episode, we continue to explore BEWAVE system. Just a quick reminder, this solution is known not only for how easy it is to install, but also how quickly and simply you can set up building automation features like scenes and routines. For now, we're focusing on the first one, scenes. I'll show you how to program them and how you can use them later in everyday situations. With scenes, you can create customized sets of commands that are triggered by a single button in the app, on a smart key fob, on a smart keypad, or by pressing a smart button. A single BEWAVE system supports up to 100 different scenes. So let's start with a simple example, activating the alarm. To create this scene, select the magic wand icon at the bottom of the home screen. You'll recognize it from previous episodes. While in the Scenes tab, select Add Scene, then give your scene a name, choose an icon, and assign it to a room. If the scene is tied to a specific room and serves a more general purpose, you can leave the room selection blank. In that case, the scene will not appear in any individual room, but it will be still accessible in the general list of scenes. We can also choose whether to receive a push notification when the scene is activated. It's important to note that notifications will also be sent to other users of the app who have the appropriate permissions. Sending a notification also creates a corresponding record in the event log. Next, tap the plus sign to add an action to our scene. You'll be taken to a screen showing the available actions. The options you'll see will depend on the devices connected to your system. In our example, we'll select Trigger an Alarm and tap Next. Here you can choose between a silent or audible alarm. Audible alarm is self-explanatory. When activated, notifications will be sent to the designated users. The alarm will also be reported to the monitoring station of the security agency we're contracted with. This option can be triggered manually. For instance, if we notice someone suspicious trying to enter the property. By contrast, a silent alarm functions as a panic alarm. It's used in emergency situations where you don't want the intruder to know that help has been called, whether out of concern for your own safety or in hopes of catching the burglar in the act. With a standard audible alarm, the security agency will typically contact the property owner to verify whether it's a false alarm. In the case of a silent alarm, however, the security agency immediately dispatches an intervention patrol to the site without prior verification. Now select one of the options and tap Confirm, and then Save. You'll see a confirmation message letting you know that the action has been successfully added to the scene. Tap Save. That's it. This new scene will now appear on the home screen under the Scenes tab, and in case of an emergency, it can be quickly triggered from there. Or as I mentioned, using a key fob or a smart button. Of course, we can create much more complex scenes. A popular example among the users is the Leaving Home scene. So let's create it now. As before, we start by tapping Add Scene, entering a name, and choosing an icon. Since this scene involves multiple rooms, we'll leave the room assignment blank. Next, tap the plus sign to open the list of available actions in our system. To start, we want all the lights in the house, along with any electrical appliances connected to smart plugs, to turn off as part of this scene. First, select the on/off action and proceed. Then, choose from 3 available options: turn off, turn on, or switch. In this case, select turn off. You can also optionally set a delay between triggering the scene and executing the action. This gives you time to leave the house without rushing. In the next step, select all the devices that should be turned off during your absence. Save the settings, and then use the plus sign to add more actions. If the system includes smart blinds controllers, the option Set the opening of blind shutters will appear in the list of available actions. For smart thermostats, the action Set the working mode will be available, allowing you to activate Eco mode as part of the scene. If a water valve controlled by the Smart 2-channel relay is installed, you can add an action to close the valve, helping prevent leaks or flooding. To do this, just use the Turn Off option. If you're planning to leave by car and have the appropriate devices connected to the smart hub, such as multi-extenders, you can also include opening the garage door and entrance gate in the scene. To do this, select the Turn On option and set a 2-second delay, which will generate a pulse signal to activate the gate drivers. Note that we're not focusing here on automatically closing the gates. Their behavior and control options depend on the specific gate control panel model. The final action to be added is Arm the System, where you'll also the desired arming mode. It's a good idea to set a delay for this action to ensure that all preceding actions have time to finish before the system is armed. The maximum delay time is 59 minutes and 59 seconds. For longer absence, such as going on holiday, you can create a scene that includes all of the actions mentioned earlier, and also adds extra protection by enabling the present simulation feature. Alright, now let's move on to editing scenes. To edit a scene, go to the list of created scenes in the Automation section. Click on the scene's name, icon, or the small mark to the right side of the box. This will take us to Scene Editing screen. There, you can rename the scene, assign it to another room, or add and remove the actions it should perform. To add actions, tap the plus sign, and to remove them, use the trash bin icon on the right. To delete the entire scene, tap the Delete button at the bottom of the screen. So, how do you run a selected scene? I'll show you right now. Simply tap the relevant icon on the home screen. In a similar way, you can activate a scene from the room screen it's assigned to. Just tap its icon there. Scenes can also be triggered using the Smart Key fob, Smart Button, or Smart Keypad. You can also use wall switches connected to the inputs of one of the in-wall modules, but we'll cover that in another episode. The third way to run a scene in the app is by going to the Automation screen and tapping the play icon next to the scene you want to activate. In this case, you can also pause the scene at any point by tapping the pause icon. A paused scene can be resumed at any time. However, tapping the stop icon will cancel the scene's execution entirely. That brings us to the end of this episode, so it's now time to trigger the End of Recording scene. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join me for more episodes of the E Academy. See you next time.